Hi, I'm here with Catherine Baldwin Thompson. She's been married since I last spoke to her, so I forgot her double-barreled name. From Angel Soul Healing. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Hi, Sharon. Good, thank you. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Very good, thank you. It's been a long, long time since we've spoken. I've had a bit of time off air, and a lot has been happening in both of our lives. And we caught up last time I was in Melbourne, and you cooked me a beautiful dinner, and we just chatted and we've reconnected. So it's really lovely to reconnect with you again.
Yeah, thank you. That was beautiful. It was so nice to actually meet you in person and just be in that beautiful, loving flow of friendship. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome. So today we're going to be talking about near-death experiences. I've actually had one in my life, but you've been talking about yours. You've been writing about yours, and I've read a chapter in a book that you're writing with Neil Donald Walsh. So I would love to hear about your experiences. I feel that in sharing our experiences and our stories with people, that's when true healing really happens. Whether it's a near-death experience or something that's going to help somebody's health, whether it's a health story or something about our childhood, if somebody can relate to that and see that you've healed from that, it gives them the permission to do that too. So I would love you to go in and tell us about your near-death experience, because obviously they're all different.
Yeah, that's the amazing part of near-death experiences. They are different. And the key to near-death experiences is that such positive messages come through with them. So mine is quite unique because I had my first near-death experiences when I was 3 years of age. So I was very young when I drowned. A canoe that I was in capsized, and I did not know what was happening at the time. It would all happen so fast, and often they do. So for me, because it did happen so fast and it was such a profound moment in my life being so young, uh, for me, it was the experience was so pure and so strong because I had nothing else to refer it to. I had no other experience like that I could, or even close to that. Never heard of a near death experience before. So I didn't have any preconceived ideas of what anything could be. It was just happening to me. So mine was extremely peaceful, believe it or not. It's quite funny. I refer to it as one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had, because for me it was such a gentle process, and the connecting to that beautiful source energy going home for me was extremely palpable and uplifting. Um, it allowed me to connect with who we all are when we're not here. So for me, it was a huge awakening. It was transcended through all space and time, because when I had the incredible experience, I could then come back without any um, ideas of what I was supposed to be going through. It was just happening to me. So, and it was so vivid and so real that when I did come back from this incredible experience, that it changed my entire world. Um, I don't remember a day before my near-death experience, and most people would say, "Well, of course, you were only 3," but coming back from my near-death experience, I remember every single day so clearly and so profoundly since that moment. So it was almost like I woke up, I started living on that day.
Beautiful. And you work with energy anyway, and you channel energy. And I remember I've read your chapter in the book, which is amazing. And you talk about that connection quite a lot. So for viewers that aren't quite connected there yet, I know that when I had my near-death experience, it was 20 years ago, and I wasn't really connected to my energy so much as I am now. And it was a peaceful time for me. I'm just wondering whether you can explain energy to, or that connection to people that haven't experienced that yet, and how beautiful it is.
Sure. Well, for me, it was very obvious when I came back. I just saw the universe of what that's what my vocabulary coped with I am the universe. So that's what I would hear from source. I was hearing that from source, all that is. So it was that beautiful, tranquil, clear, loving connection to that source energy, that where our soul comes from, that forever home. So for me, when I just kept hearing the words, you are the universe, and we are all powerful. This lifetime is temporary. You do have a forever home, which is source. I started to really use that as my vocabulary. And it was the way that I found confidence in that beautiful love energy. And for me, it wasn't until the age of 10 that I realized, I kind of consciously started hearing the word meditation. So when I was 10, I started consciously meditating and realizing that has what I've been doing since I came back from my NDE. So when I was meditating when I was 10, I consciously would stop what I was doing and decided I was going to meditate because it just kept coming up. I was just trusting what I was hearing from that pure energy, that flow, and that synchronicity. And that's what the book is about, a lot of synchronicity. So for me, the meditation allowed me to start really tapping into why I had my near-death experience in the first place, which I started moving my fingers like this. I didn't know what that meant. Everyone thought I was going to play the piano. In fact, I started to try and play the piano and I was really bad at it because I didn't want to play the notes on the page. I wanted to just move my fingers the way they were meant to. And what I was actually doing, I started channeling down a beautiful modality, a very high tech and really powerful healing modality. I just didn't understand it or know it at the time. I just knew that my fingers would move and I was in a meditative state. So for me, it was building up that beautiful trust and the love of where I had gone and visited when I was 3 years old and how I was incorporating that, even though I didn't realize, because how can you at that age? I didn't realize I was channeling down a powerful modality, but I was. So for me, that energy, that love, that connecting with myself and trusting myself through that process allowed me to just go with the flow, allowed me to listen to what I was hearing, allow me to enjoy seeing my vortex, feeling it spin, and started manifesting things I wanted in my world. And that's when all of the energy started flowing together, when I listened and I started channeling this healing modality.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important message for people, because so many of us are so busy and we don't stop and listen and connect with our energy. And that's where all the good things happen in our life. You know, when we're connected, we go with the flow rather than trying to force things that are happening all the time. I know for my so my near-death experience, I nearly drowned in Fiji 20 years ago, and I was stuck out at the back. I had been snorkeling and the waves were, you know, coming quite big, and there was a really big rip there. But coming from the UK, I didn't know what a rip was or how dangerous it was. So I went out because I was snorkeling, and I ended up way out back. And it was, the waves were crashing on the rocks and then dragging me under. And my friend at the time was traveling with me. He was a lifeguard back in the UK, and we were stuck out. Luckily, I had my fins on, but we were stuck out for maybe an hour, and I was just so exhausted and just so cut up, and, you know, just being bashed on the rocks, being bashed on the waves. And I remember thinking, oh, if I lost my friend, I was looking out and I couldn't find him. And I thought, well, if he's gone, he's a much stronger swimmer than me. I'm not going to survive this. And it was really interesting because, you know, I was fighting as much as I could. And then suddenly I had no energy. And it was in that moment where I thought, this is it, I'm going to give up. And in that moment, it was, I can't explain it, but it was as if the sun got brighter. Now, that's not possible because I was in Fiji and it was a sunny day, but it was as if the sun got brighter and I had this peace sort of wash over me. And in that moment, I knew everything was going to be okay. And as I resigned to that, I felt this big wave pick me up, and it picked me up, and I was on the crest of the wave, and I could suddenly see my friend, and it gave me that little extra bit to keep going. I won't go through the whole story, but what I learned from that is I can trust the universe. You know, that wasn't my time to go. I got lots of learnings from that experience. You know, there was a lot of trauma and a lot of nightmares after that. And then I had to wean myself to get back into the water because I didn't want to get into the water again. But, you know, what I learned was I do matter. The universe looks after me. And even though I had a big fear at the end of that, I could conquer my fears, and that made me stronger. And I think many people were scared of near-death experiences. But when it comes to those or any physical trauma where, you know, you're very sick, there's always a learning that comes out of it. And I think if we are connected to that, we can gain so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, what were you going to say?
I believe that's true. It's the learning that comes after.
Yes. So from your book, if you obviously, I don't want to give too much of your chapter away. I can talk about my story, but not your chapter. What are your learnings from that? Or if you could sort of give us some takeaways from your experience?
Yes. Well, the first near-death experience was definitely that we are divine, we are love, and we are loved, and that we are love. We are so divine and so loved, and we are that love. The second one taught me that if we're love and love is actually the key, then us as individuals actually we are the locks that we can open, that we can share that love. So if love is the key, then individually we are capable of unlocking that love in ourselves, and that we can open it up and share it with the world and live our life purpose. But to do that, we need to choose. We need to decide that we want to be that love. We do need to choose that we want to be the change in the world that we want to see. That's the taking that I got from it, that we need to support and set up ourselves in our own life to be able to live out our life purposes, to reach out with this incredible divine love, and to not waste it, to actually do something amazingly joyful, fun, uplifting, empowering to not only ourselves, but everyone around us, and help people whoever is willing to receive that help. And so for me, the second near-death experience when I was 26 taught me that I had to go out and grab it, that I couldn't wait for someone to hand it to me, that I had to create a world and an existence for myself. I had to live it, I had to breathe it, and I had to become that love and allow myself to heal all of the old trauma, and clear out all of my old subconscious, and then clear out my very core, so I could be the person that I wish to be and help people and serve a purpose that fit my wants and needs. That it was so important to listen to that, because there's going to be people out there that share that same vision, that same love with you. And it's not about changing ourselves to fit in. It's about allowing ourselves to be the unique individuals that we are, so as the people that need our help can find us. So that's what I learned from the second.
Thank you. I think that's so beautiful. You know, we don't need to have a near-death experience to be able to create change in our life. You know, many of us that have had that, it has catapulted change and made us think a bit deeper about life. But when anyone wants to change anything in there's going to be a stage of discomfort, because you're stepping out of your comfort zone to create growth. And I think what you say is very important. We are both very unique individuals. I mean, you've got blue hair and I've got red dreadlocks. We're not fitting in with the norm, and we don't conform to the traditional therapist. But there are people out there who come to see us because they love our energy, or whatever it is that attracts us to them, and vice versa. When we're living our truth and we're living our passion, I just think that, you know, being yourself, feeling that confidence within yourself and being who you are born to be is what's going to make us all happy. And so many people in the world are not happy. But once we start living our purpose and being who we are, that's when we attract all of this into our lives. Do you agree with that?
Completely. That's exactly when we start attracting everything we've always wanted and what we need in our lives to support it. And then we become that support network for other people, vice versa. That's when we tap into that unique ability and when we cherish the fact that it's beautiful to be different and that we are all different and that we can shine just as we are. We weren't meant to fit in. We were meant to be amazing. So for me, I think it's giving ourselves permission to be amazing and not being afraid to shine, not worrying about what others will say or think. As you said, people are going to resonate with whoever they do. And that's why this book is so amazing, because there's so many different stories in it that guide us and that share these stories of inspiration, that they're all so different, but they have the same message, that we are the key, that love is the key and we are the locks. And we get to choose the positive messages that we're willing to take from all our experiences. We can be a victim or we can shine. And myself and the people in this book have decided that we want to share a positive message and shine.
Beautiful. So I know that you help people to shine in your business. So I'd love you to tell people where they can find you, but also the book's out very shortly. So where do they get, it's going to be on Amazon, isn't it? So tell us all about it. Where do they find you? Where do they find the book?
Well, I am at angelsoulhealing.com.au or Angel Soul Healing Center on Facebook. The book is called The Transformative Power of Near-Death Experiences and How They Positively Impact the World. So this is already on pre-sale on Amazon, which is amazing. They can hop on my page or they can basically pop down on the links on this video and see where they can buy it right now. It's actually out on the 16th of November in the UK, and then it starts coming out around the world. So we're really super excited. The hard work of Dr. Penny and Callie, 3 years in the making, this book has been going on, and the amazing support from so many people, like Neil Donald Walsh is supporting our book, and he's written a chapter in the book as well, just purely by reading this incredible book. Clearly he could not write in the book. So the words in these pages are so powerful, they're so uplifting, that as you said, you don't need to have a near-death experience to enjoy the magic in these pages.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been really, really lovely speaking to you again. We will be speaking to you again very soon. You've also done videos for our membership area for our members, and you're going to be part of the GHE community ongoing. So I want to say to you, congratulations on the book, and we'll speak to you again next time. So again, just before I leave you, if you can tell people where they can find you and the link to your website.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for this honor. Our website is angelsoulhealing.com.au or Angel Soul Healing Center on Facebook. Please come and enjoy our amazing family, and thank you for this wonderful experience. Thanks, Sharon.
You're welcome.